Hello everybody and welcome back to Purple Plays The Misadventures of Tron Bonne. Excuse me. In the last part, we did a few funner missions. Is funner a real word? I need to look that up. I think I've used it more than once too. Anyways, we started on Sart Farm and got pigs and other miscellaneous creatures and forms of, you know what I mean. We got creatures, robotic and lively, and cheese. And then we start on mission 2 of the bank, which is probably my favorite mission in the game. Just cause I just love how it plays out. It's just a giant comedy skit, and I love it so much, except for the boss. But now that I'm more experienced, the boss isn't as much of an issue for me. I explained why I disliked the boss in the last part, so if you haven't watched it, go check out the last part. Anyways, well, you should be checking out the full playthrough instead of just going to this part. But anyways, I digress. In this part, we are just going to go straight into the next mission, which is mission 3, I think? Yeah, the dig out, level 2. We haven't been to the caves in a while. Alright, let's get this mission meeting started. Don't usually read that. But I'm going to go over the details first before I go over the Servbots, because it's going to play out a little different. And also, that's the same layout as the first cave. I mean, we are going to be trekking through the first cave just a tiny bit, but anyways. This time we're going after the Aurora Stones again. There's still 2 more left in the ruins, so I want you to go get them. But Miss Tron, we went everywhere we could last time. That's why I built the Servbot Borerer. Remember that place in the ruins where the ceiling had collapsed? Yes, I guess. Can't you remember anything? Anyway, I want you to use the Servbot Borerer to dig deeper into the ruins. Don't forget to talk to the diggers and have them help you. Just don't let them get to the treasure first, alright? Get going. Yes, Miss Tron. Okay, so now we have a new robot with us. As you can see. For this mission, we'll be using the Mini Finkelbot. We already know about that. From this mission, one of the Servbots will be driving the Servbot Borerer. As before, use beacon bombs to tell the Servbot where to go and what to do. But this time with the Servbot Borerer, you're going to have one that is driving around and he'll be able to dig in spots. But I'll get more into that as we progress. But before that, for this mission, you need a Servbot to drive the Borerer and others to get items. The Servbot currently assigned to the Borerer is number 4. I'm going to change that because depending on what Servbots you have will determine the strength of the Borerer. In this case, I'm going to bring number 10. The other Servbots currently assigned for this mission are number 1 and 2. So I'm going to change number 1, but number 2 stays. If you remember from the last dig out we had, he destroyed everything that was supposedly an obstacle. In this one, I want to get someone who still needs some brain development and has a skill that needs to be unlocked, obviously. We'll take number 23. Off screen, I was training some of the Servbots, but I never got around to all the ones that I was trying to. At least for attack anyways. I actually fell asleep. Not because it was boring, but because I had to take a break. And then when I was laying down, I fell asleep. But again, I digress. Let's begin.
Alright, let's go try out the Servbot Borerer. We're going to where the cave-in was, right? That's right, let's go! Yes, Miss Tron!
It should be noted that we're not going to be seeing anybody from the last dig out that was originally in this cave, so it's going to be a whole bunch of new faces. And by a whole bunch, I mean, just a few. Anyways.
You want us to dig a hole here, right, Miss Tron? That's right, blast those rocks out of the way. Yes, Miss Tron, ready to begin blasting.
Without the dynamite, of course. So just shoot a beacon bomb, it'll wave to you, and then go straight for the hole. And now we can proceed on with part 2.
Okay, let's move on, but be ready. This is where things get really tricky. Tricky? Okay, Miss Tron, we'll be ready. I hope.
Gotta have a little more confidence than that, buddy. Anyhow, let's see. So you can, I don't have to look around, but you can look at your map if you want to figure out what's around. You'll be finding several of these cave-ins, and you can just drill through. They have certain, some of them just have rooms like this, where they'll have a chest. And some will just have regular items in it as well.
Miss Tron, we found some money.
2,000 zenny.
That's great. Keep your eyes open for more.
Not like we really need any at this point, but you know, it's always nice. If you look at your mini-map, fuck you, kid. If you look at your mini-map, those little red doors are basically places you can drill. Over here, if they didn't hit the jar with the purple snake in it, I would have hit this. Hit the fucking card key.
Miss Tron, we found a card key.
Okay. If you keep using the beacon bomb on this, you'll keep summoning the snake. It's not forever, mind you. Eventually he won't pop out. Like that. And then you can hit it and then it'll tilt. You can also hit the jar yourself, but you'll take damage from the snake. Anyways, I'm going to drill and keep going. Alright, fine, I'll talk to this little asshole. Okay, he's not much of an asshole, really.
My name's Zach. What are you looking for? Find anything interesting yet? Not yet. Why don't you try digging here? You can get through to the other side that way. That was nice of him. Be sure to thank him properly. Thank you. We're Servbots. Nice to meet you.
Okay, this guy's pretty cool, even though he doesn't really give us anything we wouldn't already have tried doing ourselves. Oh god, I forgot about that guy. Yeah, there's like random Reaver bots around here. What I recommend, at least for this guy, you can either pop up behind him or just try to beacon bomb him from the corner. Although if you catch him from behind, he won't be able to shoot you. But that's why I made number 10 in charge of the boar, because one attack will probably kill him. But I also brought number 2 just in case, because he'll do the same thing. This chest is very important.
Miss Tron, look! It's a treasure box!
I mean, we kind of already heard all this dialogue before, so I don't really need to repeat it. But you really want to open this chest.
Miss Tron, we found lightning inside. Great! We can use that to make new parts for the glue staff.
That is what you're going to need to give to number 33, I think. That way he can create more E-tanks. Over here we have another Reaver bot. Thanks to number 2, he's able to blow that bastard up. Although there may be something that shows that you can drill here, this will actually come into play a lot later in the in the ruins. I'll tell you when. And honestly, I just don't like going through there. But again, I'll talk about more in just a second. I mean, all these caves are really linear, and this isn't all that, like, long. The only thing that makes these ruins long is when you're talking to people. I know that there's a room that's in the center, but I'm avoiding that for the time being on purpose. We don't have a card key, so I'm not going to bother with that right now, but there is one up here. I know that. I believe it's right here. Nope, that's money. Yeah, sparkling holes mean that there's money.
Miss Tron, we found some money. Good. Keep your eyes open for more.
I think I showed that off in the last ruins. There was only one hole that had money. And, yeah. Oh, I thought there was a card key over here. I might be thinking of the other hole that's right down the hallway. Oddly enough, that's the only, that one corridor is the only one that had Reaver bots in. And unique ones, to be precise. Well, one of them was unique. The other one, kind of. Not really.
Miss Tron, we found a card key.
Alright, so that's where the card key was. You drill through here to progress onto the cave, and you'll probably be halfway there. Really, this part isn't all that long. This little bastard is an asshole. First off, I'm just gonna go ahead and drill. I just want you to keep this in mind. This is completely optional. This area right here. But if you talk to this guy...
My name's Zig. Have you met my brother, Zag? We're twins. Twins? Try digging here, in this wall. I bet you'll find something really interesting. All right, then. Why don't you dig there? Thank you. We'll try digging here.
Just to get my frustration out of the way. I have no qualms with beating the crap out of him because of this crap right here.
Huh? What's this? Oh no! There's Reaver bots everywhere! We're just gonna have to fight our way out!
Now this isn't really much of a hassle. The thing is that, I mean, see, look at that. Just completely destroyed. You can knock them yourself too. I don't recommend it though, because then they get agitated. Obviously the one that's just jumping at everything can't really do anything. That's why I leave it to Bazooka Joe here and the Borer. And if you come out, he's gone all of a sudden. I think it's supposed to be implied that he's playing a practical joke on you by sending you into a room full of Reaver bots, but it's really a dick move. And he does it again later. I mean, not really, but there's a part where you're gonna have to, where you'll get like, oh, wait, hold on, this is important, kinda.
Miss Tron, look! Something shining over here! We're in luck! That's an Aurora fountain! I can recharge the Fingal's energy by going inside it! That's good news! If we get in trouble, we should come back here!
Yeah, so basically a healing center. Also, don't do this, where you just spin around while you're inside, because it can be very disorienting. I just did that just to show it. But, oh. And here's a new guest.
Uh-oh! Miss Tron, it's those birds that were below again! Loathe? What are they doing down here? Miss Tron, we should get out of here!
Oh no! You're not going anywhere! Give up now!
Okay, so here we have a bird bot. I'm going to take care of this one myself. You can just go up to them and nudge the crap out of them until they explode.
I can't believe you beat me!
You can... oh, wait.
Leave me alone!
I don't know why I like that one. You can talk to him 3 times, but there's no point. So I didn't really give him a chance to do anything, but you can nudge the crap out of him like I did, and if you're far away from him, he'll start throwing bombs at the floor, which will hit you even though you're an airborne object. And if you get too close, he'll fly and start slapping you. Talk to this lady who can't bother to dig her way out.
Is something the matter?
And just face the wall.
I was trapped.
Oh, so we were able to help you get out. That's great.
Thanks. Here, take this. It's a gate key.
Thank you very much. Miss Tron, look. She gave us a gate key. That's nice. See? It's good to help people when they're in trouble, isn't it?
Hardly. If you want to learn more about her, just keep shooting her with beacon bombs and she'll talk. She's not that much of an interesting character at this time. She'll be more interesting in the next part, but not by much. And over here we have another one of Uncle Dig's tips, but before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and get all this Zenny. If you run into the snake while it's still out, you're going to get hurt, I believe. So, don't do that. Okay, yep, that's it. And when the jar rolls around, that means that it's completely empty. I would be shooting both of them at the same time. The thing is that the Servbots get knocked out. And so it can be it can take longer for them to recuperate, but then again, they seem to be recovering quite fast, so I don't know. This is just how I do it. Alright. So let's see what Uncle Dig splattered all over the wall.
It says Uncle Dig's tips. Oh, well, why don't you read it then? Yes, Miss Tron.
How is your crystal collection coming? If you can collect all 3, you will find the elixir of youth. Although I don't know what or where it is. Still, it can't hurt to collect all the crystals.
It looks like he doesn't know much about this elixir either. There's a green crystal here, Miss Tron. Shall we pick it up? Yes. I just hope this elixir is worth all his trouble. Let's move on.
It's really not. It's just kind of a bit of a side quest thing, and even then, it doesn't really amount to anything.
Miss Tron, the gate's locked. Should we use the gate key to open it? Okay.
That's one of those instances where the text doesn't match what they actually say. Okay, this was what I was thinking of earlier. With the card key and all. So, we now have that. And then I think there's some more Zenny back here. So, let's go ahead and grab that, even though we really don't need it. But it's a little more.
That's good, but we need more. We need as much as we can find.
Okay, well, Tron's now being greedy about it. Oh, well. Anyhow. Meet probably my favorite digger in this entire area. I love this guy because of how stupidly philosophical he can be.
What are you doing? Are you waiting for someone?
All of us wait for something.
What? This place is just full of weird people.
My name is Tuttle. This lake is a trap. There's more here than meets the eye.
Ooh. Ignore him. Let's go.
And all Tron can do is ignore him. This is also one thing that kind of bothers me about the game, is that they keep saying that like certain things are traps. I don't think they understand the definition of trap. One thing to note is that if you back away from him, I think, and don't face him, No, I think if you keep your distance, he'll start like whacking his cane around, and then he'll laugh sometimes, like that. But if you get up close to him, he doesn't really react at all. Or does he? Oh, okay, he does. I love his flinching. Let's learn more about Mr. Tuttle here.
Don't you see? No one tries to understand it. That's why it's a mystery. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That's one of nature's laws. Even a child knows every trap has a switch.
Yeah, so I guess pretty much he's just saying that there's a switch around. Although he can just say that there's probably a switch around, go look for it. Or he's hinting at this area because of the child comment, because of these assholes. These are Reaverbot doors. The blue one took us in a room that's full of Reaverbots. I have a feeling that they're connected to Reaverbot somehow. But anyways, you have to talk to these guys because of this.
Welcome to Zig and Zag's Quiz Corner. If you answer correctly, we'll open the locked doors for you. Do you want to play?
Not really, but I don't have a choice.
All right. Question 1. What is the name of the treasure in this cave?
Before I answer, I just want to note that you have to answer every single one of these questions right. If I had to give you a hint, I mean, you're probably just going to be using this as a guide anyways, but if you want to just pause and then do it on your own, one hint I can give is that count how many times it took you to dig to this area. Not how many times you had to dig while you were making your way, but how many times it took for you to dig to get here. Because that's one of the harder questions. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Correct! Next, question 2. What's the name of the incompetent digger?
That would be Dance.
Correct! Next, question 3. What's the name of the digger who carries a pick?
This is why I said in the last dig out to talk to the lady with the pick, because she gives her name only when you talk to her after you first meet her. After that, otherwise you won't know what her name is, and you just have to guess. It's not Mud or Claude, it's Maud.
Correct! Next, question 4. What's the name of the digger who writes notes?
It'd be Dig.
Correct! Next, question 5. What color of switch stops a steel ball trap?
Blue, because it's the only one that we've ever seen.
Correct! Next, question 6. What color of switch stops a fire trap?
Red.
Correct!
You know that from the last boss
Next,
fight
question
in
7.
this dig out.
Which key opens a locked room?
I'm thinking a gate key. No, it's a room key.
Correct! Next, question 8. What's the color of the first Aurora stone you found?
Blue.
Correct! Next, question 9. How many times do you have to dig to get here?
This and the last question are the hardest ones, and if you get them wrong, then you have to not only restart the whole thing, but they only open all the doors except for the last one, which is required. So 5.
Correct! Last question. It's a hard one. What's the name of this island?
This is honestly an easy one, just from process of elimination. Most people who played Mega Man Legends will know about Catalog's Island, which is the main island I believe you play on. And Capcom Island is not really an island. Capcom is the name of the company who made Mega Man, or owned Mega Man, you know what I mean. So there's, by process of elimination.
Correct! Congratulations! A perfect score! We'll open all the doors for you. How was it? Did you have fun?
No.
Really? Boy, you're no fun, are you?
If you talk to them, they'll tell you to go ahead and like choose certain doors and see what's in them. This one holds a card key.
Miss Tron, we found a card key.
Earlier I said that there was a room that didn't have a digging spot. This is where it ends up. Do not go in this area. The only reason I would suggest you go in this area is if you missed out on a treasure chest, which I actually did, but it only contained an 8 bottle, so I'm not gonna bother. But for some reason, whenever I went in there, on my disc, for some reason I could never make my way back over here. So I don't know if it was a glitch or something, but I just don't trust that area. I'm gonna go in there in just a bit. You can go in that one. That one's safe. This is the door to the boss for the room key, and then this is the switch for the lake trap. But before I push that one, I'm gonna go ahead and deal with my business in here. This is optional again, but you do want to do this.
What? Oh no, Beaverbots! We're not giving up after having gotten this far. Let's get them!
Really didn't take that long. So go ahead and kill these guys. This is why you want to save that card key too. Although I think I have 2 now that I think about it.
It's a treasure box. Can we use the card key to...
I don't know why I keep listening to it.
Miss Tron, we found something that looks like a drill inside. That's a super drill. Attach it to the Servbot Borerer. Yes, Miss Tron.
So now we have the super drill. I don't know why there's a drill specifically for our board that we just made in this ruin. Then again, I don't even know how any of these people got here because you have to dig your way through, and none of them look like they're skilled diggers. Like in the real terminology, I don't fucking know.
Miss Tron, did you hear that? It sounded like it came from back there. It's from the direction of the lake. Let's go check it out. Yes, Miss Tron.
And with that, we'll head back to the lake to meet our good friend Tuttle. So, after we go through here, you'll see Tuttle on his knees, and you'll see that there is another chest. I believe that's what that card key is in there for. Wait, how many card keys do I have? Wait. Yeah, I have 2 card keys, so I had 3. But if you talk to Tuttle here...
I can't swim.
That's all he says. Whenever he's like in utter shock, he pretty much goes completely blunt. Oh, look at that. Swimming if you go near the water. He can't swim, unfortunately. I love the Servbots. One thing I forgot to show off in the town is that you can have the Servbots interact with things like cats, dogs, and even the benches. They'll sit on the benches, or they'll try and chase the cats and dogs, but might get bitten by them. The Servbots really do have a lot of functionalities, and it's fun.
Oh, right! We can use that to get into the treasure room.
The reason why I think they swim in the water, though, is because it gives you the idea that they can swim over to the chest. That and what Tuttle says when he says he can't swim, so it just gives him an excuse not to get the room key and go for the treasure himself. Anyways, boss time. Now, let's go in.
There's zillions of Reaverbots! This is a Reaverbot nest! We can't destroy all of them! Oh, yes you can! And you're going to! Let's get them! Yes, Miss Tron!
So here we have, well, a Reaverbot nest. But this isn't the real boss. This little guy is. He's going to be running around. If you get too close to him, he's going to shoot fire at you. Otherwise, he'll leave you alone. He likes to power walk. I mean, he's not running. He's just power walking. Keep your eye open for those guys. Whenever you hit this guy, whenever you hit him, the other ones start flinching. You can obviously hit them, but that won't do you any good. They just flinch temporarily. If they get anywhere close enough, they'll spit purple fire at you. But it's really not a hard boss. And after you kill that one, all of them die. If you have trouble finding out where he is, use your mini-map because he's the only one highlighted on there. Definitely the easiest out of the 3 bosses in the Shalakan Ruins. Unless you count the first boss and use the bazooka on him, then never mind. He's the easiest.
Did it, Miss Tron? Look! It's a giant refractor! This is the second Aurora Stone. It must be worth at least 150,000 zeni. This is great! Hooray! Now all we need is the third one. That's the spirit. I'm counting on you. Roger!
I still don't know what makes these RPG style things other than it being a dungeon, but even then, hardly. Anyways, we got that pretty little item or that pretty little Aurora Stone. And here's a few other things. One thing I wanted to mention about the Super Drill is that, like I said, it's optional, but if you go into the 3rd level without it, one of the chests get turned from a E-bottle into the Super Drill because you will need it for certain holes. It just gets a lot more hectic because you're going to be looking around trying to find out which chest it's in. But that's why it's best to just do that one. Number 23 got 4 brains, and before I started the recording, I had sent some Servbots to Design Magazine. Who does that go to? Oh, and there's a lazy Servbot. I sent some Servbots out to scout, and now I have a Design Magazine. I think I give that to number 40. Let me check that. Yep, I give it to number 40. Huh? Number 40 gained the special skill design. Just look at these curtains. This won't do. We simply have to change them right away. I don't think the design skill does anything for him, like, at all. I mean, the only thing I know that he starts doing after you move and come back is that he starts jumping on Tron's bed and Tron gets mad. But, that's not the main thing that I was hoping to, look into. It's this. Talk to number 30. I think I said 33. And give him the lithium. Or lightnium, whatever. Wow, isn't this lightnium? It's supposed to be the lightest metal known. If we use this, we can make more E-tanks for the Gustav. Miss Tron, we learned how to make an E-Tank number 5. If you can spare the Zenny, I think you should have us build one. So with that, let's go ahead and reduce the cost of that E-Tank and E-Tank 5. But we're not done yet. What are you thinking about now, number 30? Well, if we want to put any more tanks on the goose staff, they need to be smaller. So, I don't know why I did that. This is where you go in the high density tank. What do you think? Is it small enough? You bet. It's small enough we should be able to get it on the goose staff no problem. You should attach it right away. And then we get E-Tank number 6. And then E-Tank number 7. And I just screwed myself in the refractor ore, but that doesn't matter. I just noticed that we're below 1 million. The goose staff's energy rating is maxed out. There's nothing more we can do, Miss Tron. So now I'm wondering, can I still do the payback mission? Oh, it actually goes away if you go under. Nice. Attention to detail there. Although I could probably get that back up. Almost a meet. Well, I will be able to get that back up. So I'm glad that they added that little detail. I've never seen anybody like go above 2 million and then drop the 2 million. Okay, let's see, is there anywhere else? I mean, there's the torture room, but I've already shown off torturing. And I'm pretty much done with this episode. So next time, Mom Purple plays the Misadventures of Tron Bonne. I suggest we finish off the ruins. It's not going to be that long to finish them off. And then after that, we have nothing but action stages, which will be the last level of the bank, and then 2 more levels of the Sart farm. So I'll see you guys next time.